everybody, welcome back to the FM24 European Journeyman Save, and we are still at Nagykanizsa, and we're still challenging for a European spot. Is it going to be the last season at this club? I honestly don't know. I keep saying it is, but I just don't know. Let's go and have a look. Yes, hello everybody, and with 25 games played in the season, we are 4th. 2 points off second place ZTE, but we do play today Fehervara, who are 1 point above us, so it'll be a very tough game, but it should be quite a good game. And we're going for 2 games in this episode, so hopefully we can fit them both in, because there isn't much else to discuss other than the fact we did not get the job at Copper, which is a shame. But we have had an interview for the job at Domžale. We are not the leading candidate, but we have had an interview for Domžale at in Slovenia as well, who have wonderful youth recruitment, good youth facilities, training facilities, a decent reputation. It's actually the same level as us. £7 million worth of value. They're only just in the negative as well, so that's a good sign. Not too bad. And they won the league last year, so there is this thing of like they're wildly underperforming. We've gone for the job. We've had the interview. I think the interview went relatively well, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in that one, because it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. I think if we go to the inbox and I search for like Domžale, so yes, we had our job interview following your application for the job. Extremely impressed. You know, they have a reluctance because we haven't had use of making set pieces as part of our approach. So hopefully that doesn't go against us too much. We'll wait and see. But we're going into the games against Fehervara. Results have been pretty good to be honest. We lost the Ferencváros 2-0, beat Dioska, beat MTK, so not too bad. And we're getting into the final run, so hopefully in today's episode we beat Fehervara and we win in the quarterfinals of the Cup. Both of those would be very nice indeed. Now, there was an overwhelming vote to use Cultured Bull rather than stick with Mario Dalinic's tactics, and I keep getting his name wrong, but they're Mirko Dalinic, to get rid of his tactics. So we are playing however I want to play, which is fine. Good stuff. The other thing to talk about very briefly is that a tycoon was apparently interested, and rumours have persisted about the tycoon being interested in Nagykanizsa, which is why it might not be our final season at the club, because if that takeover goes through, then we may stay, to be honest. Now, it doesn't say anything at the moment about it being a board takeover or anything like that, but it is still being announced and sort of reported in the press that there is a takeover potentially happening by a consortium led by a mega rich person. So, by a tycoon. So we shall see. But heading into the game, we've only got one thing to worry about. It's a pretty big one. Will Dennis is out for quite a while, 3 weeks. So Barisic will be coming into the first team spot in goal. And then we're going to have to actually call up our under-19s goalkeeper, which isn't ideal. But Norbert Sasbo, I think, is our better goalkeeper of the two, if I remember rightly. But he's got 1-star silver. And Tibor Marco Lowe. No, Tibor Marco Lowe as a 15-year-old is definitely better. So he will come in as a 15-year-old on the bench, which is incredibly good and positive stuff for the youth academy side of this, the youth directive. But yeah, we're still sticking with this system. I really like this system. Barisic in goal, Ferguson, Romanchuk, Granziera and Ahangio at the back. Sorensen, Zarate, Furtado, Pedersen, Gulubakas behind Pecorino. Pecorino once again saying he is going to keep his options open. So I thought we'd talked him out of it, but we have no longer. He is looking at keeping his options open. And I guarantee you, if we go to Slovenia, I will be taking Gulubakas with us because he is incredibly good in that advanced playmaker role in there. So that is what we're looking for. But here we go then. It's 3rd v 4th. If we get the win, we go 2nd in the Hungarian top division, which would be mightily impressive. I'm happy with the team. I've not selected enough subs, but we'll live with that. Hopefully I've actually selected sub. But yeah, just have to give the goalkeeper a new number. And let's get into the game. I'm excited to get this going. They're first in the form table. We're 5th. Okay. Let's owe them after last time. That tactic, it's not the greatest thing to say. They're on 3 wins and a bounce. They're playing a 4-4-2. So we'll go and pressure the fullbacks and whoever we think is the playmaker in midfield. That's what we're going to do with this one. So they're not quite like Ferencváros. They're not that far ahead of everybody else in the league, but they are still a good team. So we'll have to keep an eye on how they play. But Sorensen has the ball in midfield up to Pecorino. He's tackled by Christiansen. Mitaja, who I think is their inverted fullback. We'll wait and see what our assistant reports is their positions, but they are on the attack now. Swung in. Reserve is really tall and big, as you can see at the back post, but it goes over the bar. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game. They probably are, as it stands, the second best team in Hungary. But we'll have to see if they can do anything with that, to be honest, because it's we're punching above our weight quite a lot. We're not having any involvement at the moment. Zarate swings it in towards Sorensen, who knocks it down for Furtado, takes a touch past his man and is very easily tackled. I don't know why Sorensen didn't head that towards goal, but he decided against it. Olatunji goes back to Mitaj. Mitaj goes back to Olatunji again. Back to Mitaj again. Into Christensen. Kalmar. Mitaj, as they're keeping the ball a little bit now. Montano. Kalmar. He could be a deep line playmaker because he's not moving around too much. He's keeping his position. Christensen could be a box-to-box. We'll keep an eye. It's a good turn from Olatunji. He's got a man in the middle, and Ilic, who has put it over the bar. Ilic is one of the top goal scorers in the division this year. So yeah, it is. I was right. Box-to-box and a deep line playmaker. So we just need to change these around. Don't want to be following that box-to-box midfielder around. I want to go and be kicking and pressing the playmaker in there. Montano actually also could be one to keep an eye on as well. They've actually listed him as a ball player. And the AI generally doesn't use ball players unless they're quite good at moving the ball. So we'll go and do that. We'll go and pressure him as well and see if we can stop him getting on the ball. Stopping this sort of trio is useful. I think that he's going to come inside. He's going to push on. The wing back will go on a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, it's a good tactic from the AI, actually. Winger down the left and cross for the target forward at the back post, and the inverted winger to come in and try and cut inside and put balls through to the advanced forward. It's very similar to our system, as Golubakas drops into the space and picks up the ball. Goes back to Granziera at the back, who is on a yellow card. Up it goes to Sorensen, just turns, holds on to the ball, into Hanya. Hanya up to Golubakas. Golubakas comes forward with it. Knocks that one back to Sorensen, edge of the box. It's a shot. Oh, it's not bad from Diarra. I think he actually got a save touching it. It's a bit too slow for me, those highlights. Easier to commentate, but a bit too slow. Zarate, got a man on the edge here. Uses Pedersen. Back to Zarate, who stayed on side. Loops one in. Hanya will keep it alive, but he'll let it drift out, actually. Won't keep it alive at all, will he? He'll let it drift out for a throw-in. But yeah, as first half goes, we have got back into it since we put the opposition instructions on. There's one thing I think we could change as well. Let's go... I'm happy with the performance because they are better than us and we are playing reasonably well. We're going to tightly mark the ball player. I've done this system before, right? Where you then tightly mark the ball player and we can press on that, but we'll also pressure the other centre-back. So when the shitter centre-back gets the ball, we're going to be pouncing on him and trying to fluster him into a mistake. So we'll see how that goes. Both our centre-backs are on yellow cards, which is not ideal at all. But we'll keep an eye on that. Pedersen's having a shocker as well. That's quite rare from Pedersen. He's normally our person that enjoys putting in a bit of a shift. So we're going to make an early sub here. Pedersen off on a yellow card, not playing well. Youngster Nikola Tedic comes on to replace him. We have also got Lugano, who we can put up front for Pecorino. I'm so bad at names. It's just not funny, really, is it? Pecorino off. Lungoy. It sounds like a pasta. Lungoy comes on for him. Granziera as well. We're going to do Soto on for now. I'm going to bring Jack Scott on, and we're going to move Ferguson into the middle. Jack Scott will like to come forward a bit more than a traditional inverted fullback would, so it does give us a bit more of an option. As Sema is in, it's deflected right in front of him. There was a man right in front of the keeper. Barisic, I don't think was going to save it anyway because of the deflection, but that could be disallowed, and it is disallowed. There was a man standing right in front of him, and that is disallowed. So 20 minutes to go, Yeah, one of the strikers just drifts right in front of the goalkeeper. I think it actually deflected off Roman Chuck anyway, but it is disallowed. So let's demand a little bit more from the boys. Ferguson dropping into that role, also not playing brilliantly either. So let's do Ferguson off for Soto. We've got one more sub. Galubakas is knackered, but he's so crucial to how we play. Do I want to risk it? I don't want to risk him getting an injury. That's the problem. So we'll do Gerbovic into the more advanced role, which he's not natural at, but he has done it pretty well for us before. And then we just need to keep an eye on their subs, if they're making any subs. I think they've only done one due to the injury, which is fine. So no changes for them just yet. We actually have been playing, technically, in terms of stats, worse since we've been pressing that other centre-back. So although you can't see it in the highlights, it may be pulling us out of shape a little bit too much. So let's just go back in here. We'll turn that one off and that off, because we didn't have that. Didn't have those on before when we were getting on top of the game. As Castrati comes down the right, we do manage to stop the cross coming in. Kalmar gives it into Castrati again. Castrati comes forward, and that is a shot over the bar as Billy Arse comes on, which is a cracking name. I think he's coming on up front, so we don't need to worry about him. Well, we might have to worry about him, but we're not going to give him an opposition instruction too much. Yeah, you can see they've definitely grown into the game. So one last bout of encouragement as Diarra goes long. Obviously, we'll be saying farewell to the Shouts soon, won't we, with FM25? It has been announced that Shouts won't be in the game because they are unhappy with how they've been implemented in the game. I mean, they've had like 2 or 3 years to fix Shouts, so I don't know why they haven't actually looked at fixing it in previous editions rather than just taking it out of FM25. It's a bit disappointing to see they're out. This is a goal, by the way. Soto clears. It's a goal for someone, the way the highlight's been carrying on. Zarate, that's such a bad pass. And it's not a goal for anyone. But yeah, it's disappointing that Shouts are out of the game, to be honest. I enjoy using the Shouts, even if they're not implemented as they should be. If they score from this, I'm going to be fuming because we haven't had a chance. They've scored from this. We haven't had a chance to actually make the opposition changes for the subs they've brought on, and I think that is what has cost us. Santos will give him a good kick in. You guys are okay. Let's go and kick the wingers now as well. It was a crap goal. It was an awful goal. The keeper came out and made a mistake, and that's going to cost us the game. Crap. It's a 1-0 loss, and I don't think we were the weaker team, but I don't think we really deserved it, to be honest. Unlucky, boys. It would have been nice to win, but we're missing our first choice goalkeeper. And that may have put second place just out of reach. We could be fighting for third place now, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we're going to be playing in the Cup. Christensen steals the show because he scored the winner. And yeah, let's go into the Cup game, which will be exciting, won't it? We could get into the semi-final of the Cup. That would be lovely. Oh, big news before the Cup game. Domzali have approached us. The board would like to hold a meeting in order to discuss your future at the club. We understand there is interest in you from other clubs and would like to discuss terms to keep you at the club. But Domzali have approached us with a much bigger transfer budget, probably a similar wage budget to what we'll get next year at Nagykanizsa, and I think a bigger wage. I think 1.3k is bigger than what they want. I mean, I feel like we've got to go because I've been talking about it, and I feel like we've got to go. Do we give them a meeting? I'm going to save it because I'm not sure. I've never been in this position before, and I don't want to click attend meeting and it means I reject Domzale. So I'm just going to save it, and then we're going to see what happens. All right, then, here we go. Let's attend the meeting with Nagykanizsa. We would appreciate if you're willing to reconsider joining the club and stay here instead. We'd be willing to discuss making it worth your while. I've changed my mind. I signed a contract and I'm happy to stay for now. Sorry for wasting your time. Willing to stay if I was given a new contract. Willing to stay for the wage budget. If the board consider investing in the potential of a new stadium. The thing is, they don't have any money to do any of this stuff. They just don't have. I'm afraid I'm quite keen to leave unless you can offer me a reason to stay. I think my time here is end to come. I've got no intention of changing my mind. I think my time here has come to an end. I've clicked it. We're incredibly disappointed that you've decided to leave and we sorely miss your leadership at the club. We believe it's important to stay on good terms with you, so hopefully we can continue to work together and build a positive future for this club. Well, we're going to leave that meeting and we're going to go straight into this meeting, and we are going to negotiate with Domzale, and the negotiations are going to be very, very short. We are moving to Domzale. We are moving to Domzale, and we're not going to get a quarter-final in Hungary. We are going to get the end of the season in Slovenia. So there we go. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Cultured Left Foot has left Nagykanizsa to join Domzale. Left Foot was named Hungarian Division 2 Manager of the Year in 2025-26 and will now be afforded the chance to enhance his reputation by bringing success to his new club. Left Foot will face pressure to bring immediate success to Sportny Park, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he is to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Frank Seifer was considered to be the favourite for the job, but it's unclear whether the club favoured Left Foot all along. Nagykanizsa will now be looking for a new manager. Domzale have been disappointing in the one season, the Private Liga, don't know why it doesn't say that, this season, and find themselves below expectations in 6th place. Domzale have drawn 3 of their last 5 games in the league. So we are there for Domzale. They were predicted to finish first and they're 6th, so they're really disappointing. We're getting a warm welcome. We've got great training facilities, great youth facilities, excellent youth recruitment, which is awesome. They were knocked out in the league phase of the Europa League, knocked out in the 3rd round of the Cup, and they were pretty disappointing all round. Better finances, what should be a better squad. We've got people on loan from Parma, a couple of people on loan. We've got on loan. Actually, we've got loads of people on loan, which is interesting. But I'm very excited about this. Direct football and set pieces is going to be interesting. We'll have to see if we'll have to develop a system to match that. But I am excited. We will arrange a meeting with the backroom staff every month. We will go and talk to the press at some point. But there we go. Cultured Left Foot in the Journeyman has his second save. I say he has. We have our second save, our second club in the Journeyman Save. And this has taken a bit of excitement, hasn't it? This is a bit of a turn. Our first game is against the league leaders, Olimpia Ljubljana, who have already qualified for the Conference League. But we're in 6th. We're only 3 points off 4th, which is a place back in Europe. 4 points off 3rd. And it's not inconceivable to get... We're only 8 points off Celje. So it's good to be back in Slovenia. Weird to not be at Maribor, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. But yes, we are at Domzale, who haven't been dreadful, just underperforming what they're predicted to do by finishing first. So, the next episode, we will go through the squad, see what we've got. It's a huge squad. It is absolutely massive. That is a big old squad. Lots of under-21s in there, which is not a good thing to see. And I'm excited. Oh my word. It's got a little boost in the arm, hasn't it, this save? Our second club is upcoming. We'll be back in the next episode to go through this Domzale squad. Let me know if you're excited by this. A little bit of a change. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.